Hello there, this is Metallurgist, and this video will be all about the 1 cent Lincoln coins in the United States. The 1 cent Lincoln coin has been the 1 cent coin in the United States since 1909. It has quite a bit of historical influence. And this video is intended to be somewhat educational about the Lincoln cent and about changes that have been made to the coin throughout the years. So originally, the reverse of the coin had 2 ears of wheat, as can be seen here, and the obverse, the front of the coin, has this portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front of the coin has been consistent throughout the 100 plus years the U.S. has been using the Lincoln cent as the 1 cent coin. So originally in 1909, the initials of the designer were at the very bottom of the reverse side of the coin, VDB. And at the very beginning there was much opposition to the coin having his initials so large, so they were quickly removed, and so there exists coins from 1909 with the VDB initials and without. And let me try to show you here the initials on the actual coin here. There, VDB, right there at the bottom. In my opinion, the initials are actually fairly small, but apparently they're too large. So in 1918, the coin, the initials were added back onto the coin, but on the front side at the very bottom of Lincoln's shoulder, and they're extremely small. You really can't even notice them unless you already know that they are there. So the coin went without any significant change to the composition or the design until the beginning of World War II. And in World War II, the composition of several U.S. coins were changed because of the need for different metals for the war effort. In the case of the Lincoln cent, the copper was needed for cartridge brass for bullet shells. So in 1943, the Lincoln cent was made out of steel, coated with zinc. So this 1943 cent here is a very high quality one. You generally wouldn't see one like this if you're just collecting low quality coins that you can get cheaply. These two from the Denver and San Francisco Mint are more typical of what you'd see. And then you'll see here that in 1944, the World War II had not ended, but we were back to using copper pennies again. And the reason for that is that the cartridge brass had begun to be recycled to be able to make the 1 cent coins out of copper once again. So for the remainder of World War II, they were made out of brass once again. The next significant change that we can observe in the 1 cent Lincoln coins is in 1959, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The reverse was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, which is the memorial to Lincoln in Washington, D.C. And that reverse was used for 50 years after that until 2009, when the reverse was changed once again to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. And in 2009, 4 separate reverses were used. The first one here was to commemorate the birth and early years of Lincoln in Kentucky. The second was to commemorate the formative years of Lincoln in Indiana. And the third was reversed to commemorate Lincoln's professional professional life in Illinois. And the fourth was to commemorate Lincoln's presidency in Washington, D.C. And then following 2009, the reverse was changed once again to the shield design, which has been used since 2009 on the reverse of the Lincoln cent. And again, the front has continued to be the portrait of Lincoln throughout all of the years. One other significant change that can be seen in the Lincoln cent is the composition changed in 1982. The reason for this composition change was the price of copper had continually increased, and it became too expensive or to realistically produce the Lincoln cent in copper. In today's market, the copper Lincoln cents have about 1.5 cents worth of copper in them by weight. So in 1982, they made a portion of the cents out of copper, and then they shifted to making the rest of the cents out of zinc. So the new cents from 1982 on are 97.5% zinc with a copper coating on the very outside of them. Also in 1982, there was some changes made to the size of the date. You can see here there's large date and small date. That's a minor alteration that can be seen in the coins. Generally, the coins have been produced from the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark under the date, and from the Denver Mint with a D mint mark underneath the date. In some years, there's also been circulation coins produced from the San Francisco Mint, which would have an S underneath the date to indicate that mint. All of the proof coins nowadays are made from San Francisco Mint with that S mint mark. The other significant notes to make about the Lincoln cent is this is the first coin that had a portrait of an actual individual. Before this point, all the coins had like Lady Liberty or different non-actual people on them, and that's true for U.S. coins, but not for other coins from other countries in the world. Other countries have had their kings and queens and many other individuals on the coins, other than us. Another significant thing is that it was the first cent coin to bear the words "In God We Trust." And so this is my Lincoln cent collection. You can see a lot of them we have good quality of some coins and not so great of other coins. The Lincoln cents are a great starter point for someone to start a coin collection because they're cheap. They're easy to go to the bank and get a couple rolls of them and look through them to try to find the different years that you need. Even the older ones are still fairly cheap to be able to purchase. And there's a large number of them. There's over 100 years of them in multiple mint marks. So it's a collection that you can spend some time trying to put together. You can see I'm still missing a couple of them. But that's the video I have to share about Lincoln cents. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to make those comments below, and I will try to respond to you as best I can. Thank you.